Welcome to Codento AI.cast on the theme Software Intelligence. In the second episode, we are covering the topic how to supercharge your software development with AI. We talk about the benefits you can gain from using Google's AI-powered development tools and what advantages you can gain from seeking help from Codento's experienced crew. I am Anthony Tusansky, CEO of Codento, your AI.cast host and a seasonal cover band drummer. Check out these mind-blowing stats. Have you ever imagined achieving a 50% turbo boost in code development and documentation? With a magic touch of AI, it's not just a dream, it is within reach. And get this, 90% of new enterprise app releases by 2025 will include AI functionalities. I bet you wouldn't want yours to be in the remaining 10%. In this episode, we are bringing you insights from industry experts. Andrew Moschetti from Google will shed light on the endless possibilities and also the hurdles of leveraging Google's generative AI tools for software development. We will also have three of our customers on the hot seat: Jaakko Hartikainen from Agile Day, Anssi Tamminen from System, and Topi Juden from Fastems. So if you are ready to unlock the secrets of software intelligence, join us on this exciting journey.
There's the potential to use generative AI across the entire software development lifecycle. Of course, we hear about using it for things like generating boilerplate code or maybe writing test cases, but there's a lot of other uses outside of that. We can use it for migrating legacy code to newer frameworks or newer languages, for example. But we can use it as well for things like tech writers who might want to use it for helping with documentation. And that could be both documentation at a method level, but also things like standardizing the entire API documentation. There's also the ability for companies that are migrating some of the old code bases to use generative AI to get a jump start. So it may not be perfect in all the cases of translating to newer frameworks, but can really help you get started on that process. So if you've got a lot of that work that you're trying to do, or maybe users aren't familiar with how a particular code base operates, you could even use generative AI to summarize the code. Even if you wanted to write it all yourself in a new framework, if you weren't familiar with the old one, you can actually use these tools to help you understand what's going on and to know what you need to migrate. To start using generative AI in Google Cloud, we have a few different options. There's the options we make for users and the options we make for developers. And so from a user side, there's the tools in Duet AI for Google Workspace. And this is things like adding functionality into Google Docs or Gmail or Google Slides to help you summarize things or create new content in slides, for example. But also on the developer side, the Duet AI for developers gives you that built-in functionality to your Google Cloud Console. And so that lets you do things like create access roles or understand different policies that you might need to set up. So if you need to write queries in natural language, but you then need those to be translated into SQL, that's another feature that's a part of Duet AI for developers. And then separate from that is our products that we really make for builders, and that's the things under Vertex AI. So this gives you access to the underlying technical components. So everything from building and training your own models to running some of our existing pre-built models. And this is an area that Codento's got a lot of expertise in. So they've done things like building image analysis models for doing things like defect identification, doing document understanding, document search, conversational agents, and those types of things. One of the challenges in using generative AI, particularly in software development, can be with concerns relating to intellectual property or copyright. In that space, Google Cloud actually provides indemnification for customers who are using these tools within an enterprise Google Cloud project. And so when you're using these tools in a responsible way, we actually cover both the training data as the inputs, as well as the outputs that are being generated by that model. So you don't have to worry about the legal consequences there, and you can be certain that you're covered if you're using that content that the models create. In addition, when you're using these models on Google Cloud, all of this runs within your Google Cloud environment, so within your project. And that's something that Google doesn't have access to. And in fact, we don't store the input prompt data or the outputs for any longer than it takes to actually generate that response. So there's no possibility of Google employees looking at that data or that data ending up back in our foundational models or back in the training data. And so that's something we can really guarantee that your data is your data as long as it's in this Google Cloud environment. But another challenge we see in using generative AI for software development is the problem of hallucination. Because these are non-deterministic, we're going to get creative answers. We're going to get things that are kind of generated based on something that looks similar to the training text we saw. And so in creative fields, that's great. That's exactly what we want when we're just writing a short story, for example. But in the world of code, we really need it to be factual and technically accurate. So we have a number of things that we can build into these models to help improve that. So that's doing things like RAG or extensions where you can connect to another data set, using grounding where we can have a factual data set that we make sure we validate certain answers against, doing things like fine-tuning a model on a particular subset of questions and answers as well. And things like that can really improve the performance of a model like this in making sure that we're getting factually accurate and technical answers as opposed to kind of the free-form generation.
My name is Jaakko Hartikainen. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of VC-backed startup called Agile Day. We're developing a technology platform for professional services companies to operate their business better. I think that the software development is going through a major transformation and change, and one could say even a revolution. So overall, I think that all the routine type of work is changing to be enhanced by AI at the moment. I think a good example of that is already that from our code, 20 to 50% is generated by AI already today. On the other hand, of course, I mean, there are still areas where we are also in the team discussing like artisan code, which is fully developed by humans. The most important areas there are, of course, the most challenging use cases and where you really want to fine-tune the code into its extreme perfection. However, then, of course, all the test data, generating documentation, getting AI as a soundboard for your decision-making in certain use cases are really, really exciting examples of how we can use it every day. One could think about three different levels of blockers. One is definitely the mindset that when we have been doing maybe 10 or 20 years of software development in the past, now we are seeing a revolution how it's been done. So that's definitely something that requires everyone to, reshift their mindsets and really think this through. Second thing is, of course, that it takes time. Get all the new tools and applications and stay up to date on what's happening in the software development work. And then it's the balance of how to use your time. So how much do you use your time on really evaluating all the tools available, and how much are you focusing on your daily tasks and work, and finding the right balance is always the key. We have been basically doing two things or focusing on two things. One thing is that we try to share everything we do across the team, which is super important. It takes time as well to share it in a good way, but it definitely helps everybody when the whole team is really sharing what they learn and what they see and what they have tested. The other thing is that we do actually this type of what we call code camps, which we take the whole team for 2-3 days in a separate environment, just off from the daily routines, and focus on things like this, like how to generate or how to utilize AI in our own development, and also, of course, utilizing it in our own product.
My name is Anssi Tamminen. I'm CEO in System. System is a IT company of 20 professionals. We are mainly known for our visitor management solution that automates lobbies and entrances for companies. Generative AI has had a big change for software developers. We use generative AI for code analysis. We use it for bug detection, even some repetitive manual coding things. We operate about in 20 countries, mainly in Finland. We use generative AI and the advanced language model, a lot of it also for the translations. So we use it for translating instructions and guides, and we use it for translating product. Of course, it has to be checked by human also, but we use it also for marketing and sales. As a small company reaching global growth, it is something that is really helping us to get faster. In our generative AI weekly meetings, we give the best practice or the best examples that we have encountered with using generative AI. It can be something that people have done in their spare time. Mainly it's something that is related work. How have we used it in marketing, how we have used it in sales, or of course software development.
My name is Topi Uden, heading Digital Business Unit in Fastems. Fastems is a supplier for intelligence, automation and digital solutions. Our customers are basically industrial companies where machining is a key process. Factory Cockpit is a solution to lead and develop production with data. So basically we saw a need for the digital tools to support the customers in the journey of digitalization. Factory Cockpit collects data from the shop floor devices and also from the enterprise IT systems which are related to the production. Basically we collect the data from various sources and then analyze it, visualize it for customers so that they are able to optimize and improve the production. But basically we kicked off the development by the vision about 2 years ago. First we initiated with the customer-driven concept development. Then we at the parallel we did the business concepting, and then we started the actual technical development of the solution. Codento was selected as a kind of key partner to provide support for all these 3 tracks, what I just mentioned, like concept development, business development, and the technical cloud architecture development. Codento basically brought well-tested frameworks with them, and we were able to kind of create the concepts and the business case with the help of Codento. So the role of AI in the industrial digitalization is, I feel that it's in the first place it will be kind of supporting people to make decisions. It will raise some problems and issues in the production flows and such, and then people are able to do the actions based on the analytics and suggestions. But in the long run, I feel that there's a big potential of automating the optimization and improving the production flows and material usage and all the supplier networks as well. Now it will support people, but in the long run, it will enable to do the automatic optimization. Regarding AI in Factory Cockpit, we have done some proof of concepts and as well proof of value tests with AI and data analytics. We have plans for future to implement some of the use cases so that it will help the customers to optimize and improve. One potential use case for AI in Factory Cockpit could be that it will raise automatically some issues in the production flows, production orders, some actual kind of material needs, so that the different stakeholders in the manufacturing don't need to kind of search for the problems and search for the data, but they are supported and provided with the right data. Codento has been helping us to, first of all, identify the use cases for AI, and then also to test the first use cases in this environment.
That was a bunch of thought-provoking stories of going big with AI-powered software and software development. I observed from both software companies, Agile and System, that the change and enhancement of technology and processes is constant and definitely an essential source for competitive advantage. For example, have you started your weekly Gen AI learning meeting in your organization like System? Thanks again, our customers and Google for contributing with their insights. The next episode of Codento AI.cast on the theme Software Intelligence is about to be launched. Then we will talk about how you can complement your development capacity with Codento scalable and agile AI skills. And again, don't worry, if you have subscribed to AI.cast at Codento.com, we will notify you by email when the next episode is available. If today's stories inspire you and you would like to accelerate your software intelligence, please book a free AI workshop with us at Codento.com. We will help you move forward towards a faster and more scalable future that allows you to realize the AI and software innovations of tomorrow. So see you soon, and thanks for watching.